Tomb Raider, a game that I grew up playing and have fond childhood memories of, and an absolutely iconic franchise in gaming, received a much needed reboot 10 years ago and was updated for the new generation. So far in this reboot we've had 3 games and even a movie adaptation. The 3 games are Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Although I wanted to start with the first game, there are multiplayer related trophies, and as I'm just not sure how the player base is, and also as I have played it previously on Xbox, I decided that in today's video we are going to be getting the Platinum Trophy for the second game, Rise of the Tomb Raider, which I will be playing the 20th anniversary edition and comes with some bonuses in game as well as all of the DLC. And for any of you guys that are interested, PSN Profiles rates this Platinum Trophy difficulty a 4 out of 10 with a minimum of 2 playthroughs and around 40 hours until completion, with only 0.4% of players who actually own the game having the Platinum Trophy. As always, to get this Platinum Trophy, I've broken it down into a few steps to use as a rough guideline to follow throughout my playthroughs. Step 1 is to complete the main story, enjoy my time going through it and hopefully manage to knock out some of the miscellaneous trophies during this stage. Step 2 is clean up. At this point I'll go around each location on the map, picking up all of the collectibles, all of the challenges, completing all of the tombs and all of the crypts. Step 3 is to then finish off any remaining miscellaneous trophies we have left before finally moving on to step 4, which is to obtain a total of 300 cards and replay all of the levels again in score attack, obtaining the gold medal in each and obtaining any other score attack related trophies along the way, resulting in the Platinum Trophy. With all that out of the way, let's start this journey. We begin the game of course as everyone's favourite original Nathan Drake, Lara Croft. We, along with our friend Jonah, are currently making our way up an incredibly snowy mountain in a journey to find a lost city. This part of the game introduces us to some of the basic climbing mechanics of the game and something that we will use throughout the vast portion of it. While making our way up the snowy mountain, all of a sudden an avalanche can be seen tumbling down towards us. We tell Jonah to go back while we carry on to try and find shelter, but unfortunately get caught by the avalanche. Flashback to 2 weeks earlier, we see Lara heading to her apartment in London when she notices a light shining from inside. We then cut to a seemingly different perspective where we see this individual looking at all of Lara's gathered research and listening to her father's recordings. We learn of a group called Trinity that had ambitions on controlling the future of humanity. Lara then makes her way inside but no one can be found. Suddenly the door starts to open and we find out that it is Anna, our late father's ex-wife. And we tell her of our discovery of the tomb of the immortal prophet, which by the way makes absolutely no sense, but there you go. She tried to talk us out of it, but Lara is adamant that she's going to find it no matter what. We make our way to Syria, and while making our way through the mountains we are ambushed by an armed chopper and it completely wipes out the car, sending us falling off the edge of the cliff, but somehow we manage to survive. We continue our journey and find ourselves inside a chamber of murals, detailing all kinds of stories of the prophet, eventually leveling up our Greek translation abilities and allowing us to translate the monolith, unlocking our first trophy of the game.
Pointing to something hidden nearby. I'll mark down.
We then find out Trinity have already made their arrival, and shortly after we break through a weak wall, giving us access to the prophet's tomb and unlocking our second trophy. The tomb is basically one big puzzle that we need to solve so we can get to the top. We have a simple solution for that. Destroy parts of the ancient structure to flood the room. Pretty simple, right? We open up the tomb of the prophet but find it's empty. All of a sudden we see armed troops repel in where we see a man, presumably the main antagonist of this story, because he has a scar on his face. He orders his men to set the charges around the tomb and opens the prophet's tomb to find Lara inside. We discover that these men are Trinity and demand we tell them the location of the artifact. We tell them the truth. There was no body or artifact when we got here.
There was no body and definitely no artifact.
As he goes to kill her, he realizes Lara has the detonator and we proceed to pull the trigger and detonate the explosives. With the tomb now crumbling around us, we use this as our opportunity to make an escape. Back at the Croft Manor, our friend Jonah decided he was going to come and see us, and we proceed to tell him about everything that has happened so far, and that we know the divine source is located somewhere in Siberia and that we need to find it before Trinity does. Jonah tells Lara that she needs to drop it. He's lost too many friends and he's not prepared to lose her as well, and leaves. All of a sudden, Lara is jumped by a Trinity assassin, and just as he's about to cut the game short, Jonah comes back in just in time to save us. Unfortunately though, he does manage to escape with our father's book that has the location of the divine source. Jonah, having now just witnessed what he did, agrees to help Lara find it. Back in present day, we find out that we have survived the avalanche and try to contact Jonah with no luck. We do have better luck in the trophy department though, as we unlock our third trophy. We eventually come across an old camp and proceed to gather up some supplies in order to make a shelter. While taking a break, we hear a radio chatter between Trinity and discover that they are hard at work searching for the divine source. Makeshift bow in hand, we leave our camp to investigate and unlock another trophy. While searching for Trinity, we run into a pretty ticked off bear, and Honey wasn't going to win this one over. Although we took a bit of a beating, we managed to escape the bear and find out that Trinity seems to be setting up a camp at an old Soviet installation, and you've guessed it, the only way there is through the bear. So we head back to camp to come up with a plan and get some sleep. We are then awoken by the sound of gunshots, and soon the area is filled with Trinity's soldiers. We notice one of them having a conversation with his buddy and decide to cut that convo short for the one-sided conversation trophy. We eventually make our way past the Trinity soldiers and once again come face to face with the bear, only this time the outcome was very different. After dealing with the bear, we discover a loose wall at the back of the cave, leading us to a glacial cavern. As we make our way through the cavern, we come across a wrecked ship. This wrecked ship just so happens to be a challenge tomb. Now there are numerous of these scattered throughout the game, and completing each one will give Lara a permanent upgrade as well as a trophy once we finish all of them. We climb to the top of the ship and get our hands on the ancient codex at the top. We learn a new archery technique as well as a trophy for completing our first challenge tomb. We eventually make our way out of the cavern where we come across one of the natives who don't seem too keen on keeping us alive. She tells us that Trinity has taken many of her people prisoner and that we should leave while we still have the chance, as if she sees us again, she will kill us. We ignore her advice and proceed to make our way through an old Soviet site where it is basically confirmed the man with the scar is the main bad guy, as we see him brutally attack one of his own men.
Go easy.
We then decide to finish the rest of them off because why leave them alive, right? And while doing so, we unlock the laying down the law trophy for killing 6 enemies with the revolver without reloading. Soon after, we overhear Scarface talking to a mysterious person over the radio, telling him of how his operation is going. However, we get caught snooping and get captured. We eventually come to and discover that we have been tied to a chair, and sitting across the room from us, Anna, who appears to have been kidnapped already. Scarface then walks into the room and proceeds to choke Anna, hoping we'd reveal the location of the artifact. Convinced Lara doesn't know where it is, he releases Anna and we discover that she is also part of Trinity. She asks us to join her in the search for the divine source, but of course, Lara politely declines and are then thrown into the prison cells to have some time to think about our offer. While in the cell, we begin talking to a man that asks us to help him escape, and in exchange would help us find what we are looking for. We break out of the cell and decide to take up his offer and release him from his, where he then reveals to us that his name is Jacob. We proceed to make our escape and unlock another trophy.
We have to move. The guards will be coming through on rounds any moment.
Do you know the way?
We eventually come across Scarface again, only this time we find out that his name is Constantine, and not only that, but he is Anna's brother. He tells her that they have discovered the location of the native settlement and are sending troops to find out what they know. After they leave, Lara decides to get a closer look at what they know, but doesn't get much time as an alarm goes off alerting the prison to their escape. We then proceed to mow down Trinity soldiers in order to escape the gulag, and while doing so, unlock the Fall Guys trophy for killing 10 enemies by shooting them in the leg. We then meet up with Jacob, get chased by yet another chopper, which results in us being plunged into the icy water below. We then awaken and find that Jacob had saved us. He asks us why we are looking for the divine source, and we explain that we are doing it for our father. Lara explains that her father had taken his own life after being ridiculed for years over it, and wants to find it and research it in order to make a difference in the world and put respect back on her father's name. Jacob asks Lara to perhaps alter her path and instead help him and his people protect the source. However, Lara disagrees as she can't let her father down. Jacob then tells us that he is heading back to his village and that we can get there quickly if we cut through the old copper mine. We then make our way through the Soviet installation to reach the copper mine, and on our way there are presented with the perfect opportunity to get the Firestarter trophy for killing 2 or more enemies with 1 Molotov.
Get searching. Any word of...
And while making our way there, we also unlock the Truth Seeker trophy for collecting 25% of all of the narrative collectibles in the game.
The Red Army finally uncovered the...
We then meet up with Jacob and begin making our way through the copper mine, but of course we aren't allowed to have a companion for too long in this game and again end up getting separated. We continue to make our way through the mine until we eventually end up coming across ruins of the lost city itself. However, Trinity have already beaten us there. After dealing with the soldiers and taking care of the giant door blocking our path, we find ourselves in a room housing a statue of the immortal prophet himself, surrounded by paintings of a story depicting what happened to the prophet, his people, and his city. We discover that his people crafted him an object called the Atlas, which held a map of the city as well as its secrets. With this information at hand, we make our way back outside and once again run into the natives. We tell them that we were with Jacob, but unfortunately got separated. Not believing us, they are just about ready to put one between our eyes when the man, the myth, the legend himself shows up and orders Sophia to stop. We find out that Sophia is Jacob's daughter, and he tells his people that we are a friend and that we must all prepare for the incoming Trinity attack. Jacob then tasks us with lighting the signal fire in the valley to alert his people. We agree to help, and even though there should have been a much simpler way to do this, we decide to climb a dodgy looking tower to grab the oil needed to light the signal fire, unlocking another trophy. We repel the attack on the settlement, and the soldiers inform Anna and Constantine that the attack has failed. Anna tells him that he is failing, and if he continues to do so then Trinity themselves will step in and that she hasn't got long left. He reassures her that he will find it. Jacob then tells Lara that Trinity is making their move on the tower and that many of his people live in the ruins there. We tell him that we can help and proceed to make our way up to the tower. While dealing with Trinity, it suddenly occurred to me that Lara hadn't eaten throughout this entire journey. Now it took me a few tries as it seemed to be a bit buggy, but we found a chicken and shot him out of the sky with a fire arrow, cooking him to perfection and unlocking the rotisserie trophy. We then kill a soldier with a glass bottle for another trophy. And shortly after that we had repelled all of the Trinity soldiers, unlocking us yet another trophy. After helping Jacob defend his people, he decided that we have earned the right to learn the story of this place. He tells us that the immortal prophet brought the divine source to the valley and that his ancestors built the lost city of Kitesh to protect it. He takes a moment to tell us that this is not our fight, but we tell him that it now is, and that we are going to continue to find the divine source with or without his help. Sophia then reveals to us that she knows the location of the Atlas. It is hidden in the flooded archives below the cathedral, but warns us of the Deathless Ones and that they will kill anyone trying to take the Atlas. With the location of the Atlas in hand, we proceed to head through the forest, taking care of the Trinity soldiers that were already poking around the area, and while getting closer to the cathedral, we get jumped by a big cat and proceed to go ham with some explosive arrows, unlocking another trophy. Inside the cathedral we find Anna, and with her plenty of Trinity soldiers. With not a lot of options, we take Anna hostage to buy enough time to escape. However, Anna knows if we did kill her, we would be gunned down instantly anyway. With very little options presenting themselves, we then shoot some explosives, causing the floor below to crumble and throwing ourselves down below the cathedral. Anna once again insists we reconsider her offer, and this time we made sure she got the message. Continuing through the flooded archives, we eventually get our hands on the Atlas, but before we even had a chance to turn around, we are ambushed by Trinity soldiers. We do, however, unlock another trophy.
Trinity, they're here.
We eventually come across a big statue, and being the big brain that we are, we decide to do some interior design and bring down the statue that we can use to then escape the archives. And while doing this, we make some more Trinity troops go glub glub glub, unlocking another trophy. After taking down the statue, we go to leave when all of a sudden an army of warriors in ancient armour, presumably the Deathless, start raining down fire arrows on us. While avoiding the arrows and collapsing ruins, we eventually make our escape. After escaping the archives, we get in contact with Jacob, where he tells us to bring the Atlas to the observatory, and on our way there we are contacted by Jonah, who tells us that he survived and Jacob's people saved him out in the tundra, and that he is also waiting for us at a nearby fortress with Jacob and his people. On our way there, we take a dive in the nearby water just to chill out for a bit, and we also get the No Guts, No Glory trophy. We eventually make it to the fortress where we find Jonah, and it's nice to see that he actually survived, and we tell him of what we have discovered so far. We then head into the observatory with Jacob and Jonah and use it to view the contents of the Atlas. The light reveals a map on the floor, and Lara is able to pinpoint the location of Katesh as well as an entry point into the lost city itself. All of a sudden though, Trinity attacks and in the process manages to capture Jonah and the Atlas, as well as leaving Jacob with a pretty bad bullet wound. He tells us that soon Trinity will know the location of the divine source, but before we can actually worry about that, we need to go and save Jonah first. Before doing that, I know that we would need to kit up for this, so we spent some of the hard-earned skill points that we earned throughout the game, and we end up purchasing the final skill needed to complete the category, unlocking us the Self-Improvement Junkie trophy.
But if they think he knows something, there's still a good chance they're keeping him.
And also decide to brush up on some of my translational skills and manage to reach max proficiency in a language, unlocking another trophy.
More propaganda.
We then discover that Anna and Constantine have seen the map held within the Atlas, and with them being closer to having the source, she voices her concerns over Trinity's plans. Constantine reassures her that she will be saved and that he will use the Atlas to control the Prophet's immortal army, and that Trinity won't even matter. Back as Lara, we continue our search for Jonah, and while doing this we get the Blade of Justice trophy for getting 25 kills with the knife. We eventually make it up to where Anna and Constantine were, where we find the Atlas as well as a live feed of Jonah being interrogated and tortured. Now knowing where Jonah is being held, we make our way over to him using our bow to take out the lookout guards, and while doing that manage to get the English pedigree trophy for headshotting an enemy with an arrow from a distance beyond 25 meters. We eventually make it into the prison where we free the prisoners inside and find Jonah being interrogated by Constantine. Jonah manages to briefly get the upper hand, however he can't bring himself to pull the trigger and as a result gets stabbed. We eventually manage to break the glass and make it to Jonah when the villagers inform us that Trinity troops are closing in and that Jonah doesn't have long left. We tell them to bar the door and that we'll take care of Trinity.
Bar the door.
After dealing with the incoming Trinity soldiers, we head back to Jonah and he seems to be in pretty bad shape. He loses consciousness and the villager tells us that he can save him if we get Jonah to Jacob at the observatory.
We must get him to the observatory, to Jacob.
After getting to the observatory, Jacob rubs some sort of powder in his hands and begins reciting a prayer, and within seconds the wound has healed, and then tells his people to keep pressure on it and prepare him. Jacob then reveals to us that he is in fact the immortal prophet and that the divine source is an artifact that contains an immense amount of power. He also tells us that the divine source isn't as divine as it makes itself out to be. Yes, it can bring immortality, but will also drive its users to go to extraordinary lengths in order to retain its power. The soldiers he created brought the ice glacier down onto the city itself, killing thousands of innocents, all to keep themselves hidden away with the power of the divine source. We eventually see that Trinity choppers are on their way to breach the city, and we all agree that they must be stopped. Jacob opens up a secret tunnel, giving us access to the path of the Deathless and into Katesh, and we unlock another story related trophy. As we make our way through the path of the Deathless to reach the city, we have our first proper combat encounter with the Deathless. Can't lie, this was a little bit difficult. As we were doing this on survivor difficulty, they do quite a little bit of extra damage, and it did take me quite a few tries to get through this part of the game. We do manage to do it though, and while doing this we unlock 2 more trophies. Fearless for defeating a Deathless using only melee attacks and finishers, and Rapid Recovery for healing myself 3 times while in combat, which I could have swear I have done like 5 times already throughout the game, but at least it popped now. After dealing with the not so immortal army, we eventually come across the lost city of Katesh itself, and we needed to gain entrance to the Chamber of Souls located within it. Dealing with some more Deathless, we then use their trebuchets to bring down the city gates, giving us access to the inner city and its tower, and while doing this, we managed to complete our 5th challenge, unlocking us the Looking for Trouble trophy. At this point, my Elgato also decided it wasn't going to record the last part of the game, so I needed to use chapter select in order to replay this, so if the gameplay looks a little bit different, I apologise in advance. After gaining access to the inner city, we proceed to climb the tower, and while doing so can hear absolute chaos going on in the battle happening in the background. That is causing the icy walls to break, as well as bringing down parts of the tower. We continue through the tower, fighting through the numerous amounts of Trinity soldiers, when we eventually get pinned down by Scarface in yet another chopper. This time though, we are taking that bad boy down. We fight off a couple of waves of Trinity soldiers and manage to unlock the Dead Ringer trophy for getting 25 headshots with the bolt action rifle. And then with the help of Sophia and her men, we use a trebuchet and our excellent marksman skills to damage the chopper enough in order to bring it down, in the process bringing ourselves down with it. We end up in a room and proceed to clear the room of the Deathless inside and make our way over to the crash chopper when we get jumped by Constantine, and in the process he takes our weapons. To be fair though, it was quite a simple boss fight, and with a few pickaxe swings later we took down Constantine and took back our weapons. As we turn to leave, he begins taunting us, telling us that Trinity killed our father and that he was begging for his life. At this point, I've heard enough, and what's one more dead guy, right? We then make our way up to the Chamber of Souls, where we find Anna on the ground with the divine source in hand. Laura asks Anna to give up the source as Trinity has already brought enough death and destruction and that there was no need to bring more. However, Anna tells us that she has no intention of giving it to Trinity, and she wants it to save herself and save humanity. A Trinity troop then warns Anna that they were being surrounded before being put down by Jacob, and Anna shoots him, bringing him down in pain. With the Deathless closing in and nowhere to run, Anna unveils the divine source and absorbs its power. Knowing that there is no way out, Lara then smashes the divine source on the ground, destroying its power and taking the deathless army with it. Without the power of the divine source, however, Jacob, being the immortal prophet, is unable to recover from his wounds, but gives Lara comfort in telling her she has already made a big difference before being dusted away. A little while later, and back in the snow, we see Lara asking Anna if she killed her father. Anna tells her that Trinity ordered her to do so, but that she couldn't do it as she did truly love him. But before she can say anything else, she gets assassinated by a sniper. We then hear a voice confirm that she had been taken care of and whether they should take out Lara, to which the voice on the other end says, "Not yet," indicating that Trinity has much bigger plans. The story ends and we unlock the Price of Truth trophy for completing the game and the Ultimate Survivor trophy for completing it on Survivor difficulty.
I can make the right difference.
With that being the main story now complete, it was time to move on to the cleanup stage. During this time I spent the next good few hours walking through every location on the map, making sure to collect all collectibles, and there were a lot to collect and many different types. As well as the collectibles, I needed to complete all of the challenges, tombs and crypts. This took me a lot of time, but thankfully I was able to unlock a decent amount of the miscellaneous trophies while doing this as well, so it did make the next step a little bit quicker for me. I won't show you the tedious process of cleanup, so here's a little montage.
We have a true test now, young one.
Best seat in the house.
It's the formula for Greek fire. Wisdom. I'm sure I can find some use for them.
Okay, so the next trophy we're going for, actually going for 2. I have to kill 50 animals while using the Huntress outfit. But I also need to kill 15 deer by shooting them in the heart. So hopefully we can get both of those done at the same time. I'm hoping it's not going to take too long, although I've got a feeling it is going to take a little bit of time. Oh nice, Siberian Ranger. Beat 15 combat encounters after completing the game. Was not expecting that. I was just trying to kill 50 animals, but nice. Okay, we got that out of the way. There we go, Huntress trophy. Kill 50 animals while wearing the Huntress outfit. Okay, I've taken a quick little break from trying to find the deer. I still need to shoot a glass bottle out of the air. I did do it a few times, but I never got the trophy. So let's hope this time I get it. I've equipped a shotgun so I don't miss, and I still missed. More glass bottles, there's people, but it's fine. We're going to do it in the comfort of our own little safety net. So this time we're going to grab a pistol. Hopefully this is better. Chuck it up in the air, and come on. Oh man. So I used all the glass bottles in that place. Didn't get the trophy, so we're gonna go and hunt for some more, as well as some more deer, and hopefully come across some more glass bottles. We are gonna try and hit it with the shotty this time. There we go, trick shot. Oh my god, it worked. Shoot a bottle out of the air. That took me so long. Thank God for the shotgun. There we go, trusty old friend. We'll check that out. Let me kill these. There we go. Kill 5 enemies within 10 seconds using any rifle. There we go, quick and painless. Took a little bit longer than I thought. Shoot 15 deer in the heart. Now I could have swore that I've done way more than 15 just here alone. But hey, trophy's finally done, out the way, we can move on to the next ones. Come on, come out.
It's over.
And there we go, Renegade. Finally, melee 5 enemies off a ledge. I'm assuming some of the game's trophies are still buggy. Because there's times like that and earlier on when I killed like chickens with fire arrows, I actually did what it required me to do and I never unlocked the trophy. So I'm assuming some of them are still bugged, you just got to keep at it. Luckily it was only combat related stuff that was bugged and nothing that was, you know, potentially missable. So I'm glad. There we go, triple threat. Kill 3 enemies with 1 shotgun blast. I was worried I wasn't going to do that and I was going to have to sit here for ages trying to get it, but thankfully, first try. Damn, okay, that was easy. Let's just finish this guy off because we're here. Sorry, bro. So before we move on to the score attack trophies, we need to unlock some cards. Now these cards will make our score attack runs harder, but they will increase our multiplier, making it easier for us to get the gold rating. And also there is a trophy for collecting 300 cards in total anyway. So let's go ahead and just open up a bunch of these free packs that we got for getting the 20th anniversary edition. And then we're just going to buy the rest of these cheapest packs. I think it's like 5,000 a pack. And hopefully we'll have enough cards to unlock both the trophies, and we'll have the good cards to increase our multiplier in score attack. And there we go, quite the collector. We haven't even bought any packs yet. We've only opened up our gifts from the 20th anniversary, and we've already got the trophy for collecting 150 cards. I have a feeling this is going to be pretty damn easy to get the rest of these cards. And there we go, these belong in a museum trophy. Collect 300 cards, that's it, that is all we need now. Everything else is score attack, so hopefully that's not going to take me too long. Hopefully we can breeze through it, and I'm hoping that we've got a good amount of cards that's going to give us a good score multiplier. So let's go ahead and start this score attack run. Now, as much as you guys would probably love to see a segment of me raging at how hard this would seem to be, unfortunately, but luckily for me, this was actually quite a breeze. The gold scores are relatively easy to achieve as long as I'm not taking damage and consistently picking up items or killing enemies without leaving too much time in between. Building a high multiplier is ridiculously easy, and often found myself finishing the level with hundreds of thousands more points than what I actually needed for the gold medal itself. And there we go. I think that's the end of the chapter. Let's go ahead, skip this, see what we get. 106,000, and we get a trophy, my own worst enemy. Complete a level in score attack with a score multiplier of 200% or more. We also get the gilded trophy for completing a level in score attack with a gold score. And we also get the Iron Wheel trophy for completing a level in score attack using 5 cards. Any more? Okay, another one. That's all you got. Complete 3 replay challenges and 1 score attack. Any more for us? No, okay, so that was a bunch of trophies. Damn, man, we got the gold score. That was actually easier than I thought. I was really worried about going into these when I first started, but no, that was actually easy. So the rest of this should just be a breeze. And there we go, another trophy, untouchable. Replay 5 different levels without taking any damage. We've actually done a few more than 5 different levels now, but I took damage on a few of them. And I was doing so well, I really didn't want to start it all over again. And there we go, another trophy. Well begun is half done. Complete 10 levels in score attack with a gold score. That means we have 2 more trophies left until we get the platinum. And there we go, guys, we got the golden child trophy. Complete every level in score attack with a gold score. And of course, that lovely platinum trophy. You've unlocked every trophy in the game. There we go. Oh my god. We've done it. Lara Croft. That was an experience. Absolutely loved this game. Remember playing it back when it released. Loved it then. I've always preferred the Uncharted series. And obviously they are kind of similar in their own ways. But I absolutely loved the Lara Croft series. And I thought, you know what? We'll go back. We'll platinum one and give it a little bit of time to shine. So yeah, and I'm absolutely glad that I came back and gave it this chance. A bit annoying that throughout I had a couple of issues with my Elgato recording some of the trophies. I don't know what's going on with it. I think I may just need to get a new one. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe it's just a little bit too old now. Maybe something's happened to it. I don't know. But hopefully that hasn't affected the experience for you guys. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And with that being the platinum trophy, this brings us to the end of the video, guys. As I said, I absolutely loved playing this game, had an absolute blast, thoroughly enjoyed the story, thoroughly enjoyed the exploration, and with a game that isn't actually difficult to platinum, only 0.4% of people who've played it actually have the platinum, which surprises me. So whether you've played it before or you've never played it, this is a game I would recommend anyone to get the platinum for. It's easy and it's enjoyable. Anyway guys, that brings us to the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed it and like to see more videos like this, then make sure to hit that like button and share this video around. It shows your support, and your support is always greatly appreciated on my channel. What do you think of the Tomb Raider series? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on to stay up to date with everything I upload. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next video.